This is the Dodgers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Dodgers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, hello and welcome to the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Place to hang out when every game is done. I am Pete Fox, covering sports in LA, dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Today's episode in a losing effort for the boys in blue, brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. Dodgers were behind. Shohei Ohtani went deep to give them the lead. They held on to it for quite a while, but the bats went cold.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Still no ability to sustain momentum. From one game to the next, from one part of the game to the next, from one inning to the next. They are up, they're down, they're good, they're average, they're bad. Errors, inconsistency, just no rhythm. No sustained rhythm anyways. Lose the series with this 5-3 loss to the Cards. Now 66-48, 5-3 the final. Just every time we think, like we talked about it last night, hopefully, we kept saying that. And it's funny that that came up because Oral mentioned it during the game. I think he was referencing the post-game show. He said during a post-game show, you don't want to hear the guys doing the post-game show talk about the word hopefully or hope. And I happened to use it a lot last night because I think we all kind of felt that. Something, I don't know if I just turned my camera off there. If I did, I apologize. Let me go back a little bit because I evidently hit a button there. Sorry. What I was saying is the Dodgers did not have any sustained momentum today from yesterday. And the comment I made was that Oral talked about the word hope and that you don't want to hear the postcasts or post-game guys talking about hope, that you hope that this win, this momentum will carry over to the next game and to the next series and down the road for a week, for a month, into the postseason, etc. And we talked about that last night a lot. We said that a lot. I did anyway. I hope what we saw tonight, being last night, is something that we'll see more of in the near future. Hopefully this wakes them up and they get rolling and the offense gets hot for, a sustained period of time. Now, I'm not trying to be egregious or greedy. I'm looking at maybe 3 games in a row, right? Something like sweep a series, or win. If they'd have won this game today, they would have been 3 series in a row, and that would have been nice. Take that into a tough series coming up against Toronto. Yes, that would have been a good way to roll into a tough series. But today, they got started hot and then just absolutely kind of fell apart, went to sleep. 6 for 12 to start the game, then 1 for 12 from there. So I don't I don't know where to go from here. Pitbull 299 says that from here he is back to being a Pods fan. Dodgers suck. Okay. I love the overreaction. It's an overreaction Wednesday. Beautiful. From what today looked like, there was some positives, but all in all, you look at the game and you think the defense was bad. Okay. And wasn't terrible, but at a crucial point of the game when we needed Freeland to make an easy throw to second base. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
8th inning, leadoff runner on for the Cards, then win singles. By the way, first 2-hit or more outing for Alex Vesia in a while. May 20th was the last time Vesia gave up 2 hits or more. Then Walker singled to left to tie the game. Orel broke it down a little bit more aggressively, and he gave lower grades than I did on that play. He thought that the play, first of all, he thought it was a bad pitch from Vesia. Caught too much of the plate. Yeah, hard to argue with that. It was right down Main Street, easy ball to hit there. But then he thought Pages had to hit Mookie Betts as the cutoff man. I think that is not true. I disagree with that. Pages, we know he's not always the best fielder and does make some great plays at times. But one thing you cannot argue about with Andy Pages is that he has a rocket of an arm. And that wasn't hit very deep. There's no reason for Andy Pages to hit Mookie Betts as a cutoff man in that particular situation. That is a high school play. Andy Pages can throw that ball to home without a cutoff man on one hop. He can definitely throw it to third base without a problem. So he made a decent throw. But then from there is where it went south. Freeland made an snap judgment at that point to throw the ball onto second base without taking his time and making a good throw, and consequently threw it into right field, giving the Cards the lead 4-3. And that was all that they needed. They got one more as some insurance, but I don't agree with all of those issues being the reason that play went south. The fact was Freeland, a rookie, made a rookie mistake. Didn't take his time, didn't make a good throw, kind of snapped it over there. And it didn't work out. It rolled into right field, and it gave the Cardinals the go-ahead run and consequently the win. So you look at that and say, yeah, that could have been better. Our defense was not great there, but to say that our defense sucks, I mean, that was the only error of the game for the Dodgers. St. Louis had 2. They definitely gave the Dodgers opportunities, to be sure. Dodgers left 6 men on base while the Cards left 11. The Dodgers pitching again was part of the reason this game went south for them. Robo 1 earned on 5 hits over 3 innings. Not his problem. Vesia had an off day and Stewart had an off day. So those 2 guys who pitched the 8th and the 9th could not get the job done for the Dodgers. But look, Vesia has been very good for quite a while. We're not going to get all over him. And, Stewart is new to the team. And at the end of the day, that 1 run didn't cost them the game. The reason the Dodgers lost this game was they got leadoff runners on and couldn't move those guys around. Again, though, 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Again, not terrible. When you look at what the Cards did, 4 of 18. I switched computers, as I mentioned, and now the computer that's over here on my right, which gives me the stats compared to the computer I'm talking into, has much smaller graphics and they're not nearly as sharp. To that, my wife would say, well, get an Apple then. And I might have to do that. But anyway, yeah, 4 for 18 is okay. It's not great, though. 2 for 8 is not good either. So the Dodgers they didn't strike while the iron is hot. They didn't take advantage of the opportunities that were presented to them. So when you look at this game, you say, you got to score more runs. That's what it boils down to me. Again, that sustained momentum is not there. You have to be able to put more runs on the board. Shohei Ohtani started the game, looked good, got a home run, number 39. Nice to see. That's fun and exciting. I don't get as fired up about that as others do, as Joe does. The whole I'm pitching and I hit a home run thing. Everyone's like, oh my God, he was pitching and he hit a home run. Okay. Yeah, we get it. He does both. I don't find that to be all that. It's great when Shohei blasts one to center field. This case was more left center, but I don't think it's a bigger deal because he's pitching. Now, over the stretch of a season, obviously, this is the reason his offense has come down, is because he is pitching. So it is a bigger task, but I am mentally prepared for it. I expect that when he's pitching, he can still hit a home run. Another thing about Shohei today, I thought, he looked a little better, not as a pitcher, as a hitter. He had 8 Ks on the mound, by the way. Only struck out once. And I thought his at-bats today were a little bit more controlled. His approaches were a little bit more calculated. He wasn't just flailing at every pitch. He was working his way into counts and trying to find a good pitch. Then the time he struck out, he worked that count. I think it was full. And then a slider away. We've mentioned that before. The slider away is one of his nemesis pitches, right up there with the fastball up. But the slider away, I think, is worse for him. And that's what Romero threw, and he just kind of waved at it. Strike 3, you're out. So it just seems like his on-base percentage is late, or better, rather, over 500 since the month of August started. And he also has just been a little bit more controlled at the plate. The swing seems to be a little bit shorter, which is one thing that I have been asking for and calling for and saying that we need from Shohei Ohtani. We need him to be a little bit more of a contact hitter and get on base more, not just try to hit home runs every time that you're up there. So it's nice to see that is potentially his approach. It just seems to be a little bit more controlled and not quite as wild. But it didn't help today. He did hit the home run, number 39. But it wasn't enough as the Dodgers fall 5-3. It is the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. When we come back, we will identify the player of the game. It is the Locked On Dodgers postcast. Don't forget to check out the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast right here on the Dodgers YouTube channel, hosted by Travis Rogers, Monday through Friday, an in-depth examination of what's going on in the Dodger universe. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by Game Day Hue. Today's episode, yes, brought to you by Game Day Hue. I just said that. And so is this hat, which I'm not wearing. Fast forward. Game Day Hue makes clean, no logo gear with team-inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. It's all about letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just smart, versatile styles that work on game day or on the course or anywhere in between, including like a casual Friday at the office. So, if you want to support your team on a Friday going into a big weekend of college football or NFL football, or as the Dodgers head towards the postseason, you want to support them, Game Day Hue is the place you got to check out, because you can get polos and hats that are considerably more toned down, just more professional and adult than some of the stuff you might wear to the stadium. And again, at the stadium, anything goes. But in the office or on the course, things are different. Right now, you can get 15% off with code MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. That's GameDayHue.com. The code even stacks on bundle deals. So now's the time to load up. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's GameDayHue.com/MLB15. Today's episode also brought to you by Monarch Money. Ever wish managing your money felt easier? With Monarch Money, it can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch Money puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center where you can track all of your accounts. That means what's going out, your checking account, and what's coming in, your savings account or your investments. If you've got some dividend stocks that are paying you on a monthly basis, you can see what that looks like in the whole entirety of your, your accounting and your managing of your money. You can also build your wealth a whole lot easier with Monarch Money. So head over to their website and take advantage of that special deal, monarchmoney.com. Take control of your finances. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. It's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB. All right, Dodgers fall in the finale, 5-3, lose the game, lose the series. Off day tomorrow, which is nice as they get ready for the Toronto Blue Jays, who come in leading the East. They're a hot team right now. And, sometimes these weekend series against good teams are just what the doctor ordered, just what the Dodgers need to kind of maybe, wake up and snap to and say, hey, the time is now. We need to get hot. We need to find our way. And they just haven't. They've I don't know. To me, it feels like they've been kind of middling, treading water. They're not bad. They're also not hot right now. And the second we feel like they're hot, this happens where they just cool. Toronto is 68-48, 5-5 over their last 10, but they come in riding a 3-game winning streak, while the Dodgers are also 5-5 over their last 10. So not quite as, it's similar 10-game records, but as I said, Toronto is riding a 3-game winning streak. Padres, after a extra inning win last night against Arizona, are 2.5 back at the Dodgers after this loss. And I don't know if the Padres are playing today or not, but the fact is that, they're playing tonight at 6:40 in Arizona. So they can narrow that deficit in the West to just 2 games. Jose also feeling negative. Well, so much for Dodgers staying on first place. Not sure what that means. They'll still be in first place, win or lose by the Padres tonight. But I see what you're saying, Jose, that, it's getting closer by the minute. They are narrowing the gap. And again, we just don't feel like what we're seeing from the Dodgers right now is something to get fired up about. Now, last night it was, and we would have been so much happier and felt so much better about where things are today if there was a sustained momentum, if they were able to play 9 full innings and, be hot throughout, not make errors, not go on 1-for-12 streaks after starting the game 6-for-12. So it was good that they started hot, but unfortunately, it just wasn't enough for them.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Freddie did his job today. Like I said yesterday, it was super bizarre and ironic that everybody was getting hits last night except for Freddie, but he did have 2 RBIs because he had 2 big sack flies. So he's putting bat to ball and doing his job, scoring runs. It doesn't always need to be hits, but today 3-for-4 for Freddie, average up over 300 now at 307, and his OPS over 800. So Freddie's staying hot, and that's good to see. Honorable mention, let's give that to Shohei Ohtani because he pitched well. 8 Ks on the day, the home run as well. 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs, 1 walk, and only 1 K. And as I said, it feels like his approach at the plate is just a little bit more controlled, not quite as wild as we've seen. We did get 4 innings from him on the mound, gave up 1 run on just 2 hits and no walks, 54 pitches, the ERA at 2.37. So we have to feel happy and good about all of that, as we talked a little bit about last night on the Shohei Ohtani World Series ring giveaway. It was nice to see him come out and perform. And that's generally the rule of thumb. When it's your bobblehead day or if there's some sort of giveaway associated with you, you show up and perform. And that's what Ohtani did. And they did, as I predicted last night, show a bunch of close-ups of the rings today. And even the guys in the pregame and postgame referenced the fact that they were really, really ornate and cool. And I agree. I think it is a very unique giveaway item. And congratulations to you 40,000 fans that were able to procure one of those World Series rings. Hopefully the Dodgers can earn another one this year. That is still a ways to go at this point of the season. Again, 5-3 the final. Cardinals win the game and the series. Off day tomorrow as we get ready for the Blue Jays, who come in 20 games over 500, riding a 3-game winning streak at 68-48. Dodgers now 66-49, 36-23 at home. And we will appreciate the day off. I'm sure they will as well. Let's see what we got for game 1 against the Jays on Friday. The probables will be Clayton Kershaw against Max Scherzer. 2 oldies, 2 future Hall of Famers. 2 grandpas on the mound. Well, not quite, but you know what I mean. 2 veterans, and it's going to be a heck of a pitching battle and a heck of a game So we'll be here to break it down when it is all over and done with. So thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me here on the Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Of course, the Postcast is all about instant reaction. And if you want more in-depth analysis on what's going on with the Dodgers, you everydayers know to check out the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast hosted by Travis Rogers right here on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Appreciate the calls, even though we didn't have any calls. That's the old school radio guy in me. Appreciate you watching and listening. And of course, as always, appreciate the comments. Take care. Have a good night. We'll talk on Friday. See you.